This is Destiny Matters. Every man is born for a particular purpose, and it's God's pleasure to help you become it. Welcome to Destiny Matters. And now, your host, author, pastor, and speaker, Charles Kasiwante.
Hello and a warm welcome to Destiny Matters program. You are very welcome. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are, in your homes, in your offices. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for choosing to tune in, to listen, so your destiny matters can be sorted. This program is being aired right from Kampala, Uganda. And your host today, my name is Pamela, Nayiga, Catherine. I am a mother, I am a banker, and I'm an aspiring so many things. My guest today is Mr. Raymonf Mayega. You're very welcome, Raymonf.
Thank you.
He is coming to join us on a sequel of the show that we had last week. Okay. He's coming to beef us up on the subject of competence in the workplace. Competence for a Christian in the workplace. And those that tuned in last time, you heard just a little bit about what he's got to offer this country, to offer the church in terms of competence in the marketplace. I want to give him a minute to introduce himself so that I don't have to speak below par of what he has come to give us. Raymonf.
Thank you so much, Madam Pamela.
You're very welcome.
My name is Raymonf Mayega. I'm the team leader at Mayega Global Incorporation. We major in leadership development, personal development, effective communication, stock public speaking. If you want trainings in such fields, you can contact us, we do that, and also concepts of management. Everything you see in a person's life, the skill set, all those stuff fall under personal development. Personal development is where you just start to develop your skill set in many different fields. I think that's enough introduction.
Yes, that is it about introduction. So today, we're going to go a bit deeper in delving the story of our guest, Mr. Raymonf Mayega. Raymonf is a Christian. Raymonf is a man of a wealth of experience. And when we looked about for a story to showcase, a story to inspire, a story to help a Christian put them on the course of their destiny in terms of making an impact in the workplace, we couldn't look any further than Raymonf. So today, our story is going to work around Raymonf. He's going to tell us where he comes from. He's going to tell us the origin of his story. He's going to take us through his life journey from then up to now, so somebody out there can be inspired to know that they can take on the journey of their destiny and they can make an impact in the marketplace. So today, you're going to join me and we're going to warmly say welcome to Raymonf, and then going to give him time to tell us where he comes from, what are the things that have impacted his life, what is that story about him that God has been weaving to put him where he is. And then afterward, he will tell us where he wants to go. What is that vision God has put in his heart about destiny, his own destiny, so that he can inspire you out there. So you can also believe in yourself. So you can also start on your journey, knowing others as ordinary, seemingly ordinary as yourself, have walked this journey and have won it. Because you see, many times we keep thinking that the people that win, the people that do things are maybe born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And yet that is not the story. The people that win in this world, the people that inspire, especially in the church, are people with as ordinary a birth as anything you can find. So Raymonf here is going to tell us his story, and I'm going to be nicely guiding him so that we get everything we can get from his story and be inspired. So Raymonf, tell us about yourself. Tell us, where does Raymonf come from? What is the origin of Raymonf's story in this world?
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Pamela. As I've said already, you know my name. I was born in Jinja, the landing site called Masese.
Okay.
Those who have done field tours in Jinja, you like going to Masese landing site. That's where I was born, and I was raised from that place for the last, for my first 23 to 24 years.
Okay, so you were born in Masese.
Yeah.
Somebody told me there's fish in Masese.
Absolutely.
That a big fish of this size can be bought at 10,000.
Actually, I'm a fisherman.
Okay.
In my area days, I
Okay.
used to do fishing.
Oh, really?
If I came to Kampala.
Okay.
Yes.
Kale, go
So,
ahead.
mom and dad are still there, though they're separated, they're not together. I was raised by several, my father was a polygamist,
Okay.
and I was raised by several stepmothers.
Mothers.
And then later on, I will not talk about the stories of those others, but there's this particular one who raised me, Nam Tevi. Probably someday she'll get to watch this podcast. I love you. She's the one who raised me to my understanding age.
Okay.
She's still there. She's still with my dad.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell us, do you have siblings, you have sisters and brothers?
We are born 6, and I am the second born. My elder sister is in Kawempe. She's called Nora. She's the
Okay.
first born,
Okay.
and I'm the second born.
Okay.
Yeah, we are 3 boys and 3 girls.
So you are the second in a family of 6.
Yep.
Okay, tell me about your education.
The earlier days, let me begin from the beginning.
Yes.
I went to primary. The school is called Lakeside Primary School. It's just opposite our house. When you reach Masese, there is a school called Lakeside. I'm sure people that have done field tours, you know where that school is. Then opposite the school, the upper side, is our home.
Okay.
Up to today, our home is still there.
Okay.
That's where I went for my primary. And then from there, I went to senior 4. I did it from St. Peter's College in Jinja, or St.
Okay.
Peter's High School in Jinja. From there, I went to high school. I studied 2 terms. I failed miserably. I
In
left
what? In high school?
Yeah.
Senior 5, you attempted 2 terms?
No, senior 5, I studied 1 term, and senior 6, I studied 1 term.
So you did 1 term in senior 5?
Yeah, I studied senior 5, 3rd term.
Oh, 3rd term.
And senior 6, 3rd term.
So when you did your 3rd term in senior 5, were you promoted?
Not officially.
So you found yourself in the next year going for senior 6?
Unofficially, yes. Because they
So what was your combination?
They required through 2 principal passes
Yes.
and 1 subsidiary
Yes.
to cross from senior 5 to senior 6.
Okay.
And I could not. I think I had 2 subsidiaries. So I could not go to senior 6 officially.
Yes.
Now I took myself there.
Yes. Wagenda around put 2.
Yes.
What was
I would not say exactly that, but it's true. Yes.
So you failed miserably again
miserably.
and decided to jump out of
So
school.
I jumped out of school, and I found myself in the world and in the school of the world.
Okay.
And I was taught by the world.
And I imagine at that time you were 17,
No, I was 20.
you were 20.
I did senior 6 at 20 years.
At 20.
Yeah.
So you entered the school of life
Yep.
at 20 years.
Yes.
Where exactly did you enter life from? What did you start doing?
We may say officially I entered at 20, but from age 15, I was in and out of home. I would sleep in film halls. I would go out of home, be out there for some time, then come back and stay home.
Ng'osula mu bibanda bya firimu.
Yes.
Tata wo teyakukubangako ku mbooko.
And that's the very reason why I was doing that, because Dad was a drunkard by then.
Okay.
He later got born again and is a church elder right now.
Okay.
But that time was a very drunkard man, and one of the things why he would run away from home is because he was beating us terribly.
So he used to beat you so much, and as a result, you ended up going and spending nights in bibanda bya firimu.
Yeah, and film halls, no sulake, you're the normal and order. I was not on the streets per se. I was never. But I would go, sleep there 1 night or 2, then come back at an ejivuga. Nobela kwako for some days, and then not die.
Olwo Mukama omusisinkana ddi, olugero lwo lutandika ddi okufuuka olw'enjawulo ffe okukulabanga bw'oli kati? When does the turn in your destiny happen? Is there a specific time that you can look back on and say, at this point in time, Raymond n'asisinkana omusajja eyamugamba nti Raymond gwe ogenda kuba w'amaanyi kankukwata omuko. What happened? How did you get to where you are now?
When I reached, first of all, when I was in P3 and P4, P2, P3, P4, there is a teacher who used to beat me so much. I still remember her name, though I don't want to mention it. and she told me that mubasichirunza asembayo. So that thing stuck with me for several times.
Yes.
And indeed I was, because later I came to realize that there's a condition I had. It's called dyslexia. It's a scientific condition, but it's not serious.
Obusiru abasomesa bwe bavuma abaana buba busiru bwa butategera mu kibiina buba busiru bwa kikati. I don't relate with anybody saying nti omuntu ono musiru sikitegera. So what did your teacher mean?
By the fact that you totegera bintu byasomesa mu kibiina, you are considered
yali asomesa ki?
I think she was teaching English. And dyslexia is a condition where you have problems with spellings, speaking, and writing. Yeah, you cannot write particular things, you cannot spell particular words, and you have difficulty. It's called dyslexia. It's scientific, though it's not very serious.
Yes.
And though English people or white people take it very serious.
Kati mbuulira from your dyslexia to Raymonf Ono, I want you to help me bridge that gap. How does Raymonf come from sleeping in film halls and from a home of a drunkard and drop out in high school? How do we get here now?
When I reached in P7, I became a little more unruly.
Okay.
Being that I was born in the landing site, it's a ghetto. Right now, it's not like the way it used to look.
Okay.
15 years ago, 20 years ago, it was a real ghetto. Right now, some rich people came in, bought land because it's near the lake and build houses. So it looks a little bit nicer, and there are some few portions of houses, but it was a real ghetto. So around P7, I became more unruly, and my dad decided to take me in the village to his younger brother in Kamuli, from Jinja to Kamuli. Deep down, the village is called Balawoli. So he took me there to teach me, because in Jinja, at the learning site, you could not eat at home. You find your own way to get a chapati, you find your own way to get food, you find your own way to survive without necessarily coming home. So he realized probably I would become a problem in the future, and he took me in the village.
To Kamuli.
Where you know nobody, where you cannot even get 500 to buy a chapati, where you know nothing completely.
Yes.
So it's there that I started P6 and P7.
Yes.
So his brother, my father's brother, Uganda go to ita tato muto.
Yes.
Mu P7 nantuza nambulira enjiri.
Okay.
So samute wanyanyo kubanga nali simanyi na kyebitegeeza. I get born again when I was P7 and I was 12 years.
Yes.
So when I accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, it was a casual acceptance. It was a casual decision.
Yes.
I began going to church.
Okay.
I entered the choir, I entered ushering, I did a number of things until when I was until I finished near 4. Of course, there were many unruly stages.
Yeah.
Though I was
growing
born
up
again. So when I reached senior 6, I started those 2 terms at high school. Then I left when I failed. My pastor Wako Joffre, is in Jinja, he's still pastoring. He took me to the Bible school.
Okay.
That's when my life started changing, and that's when I started to make deep commitments for Christ.
Yes.
But when I was in senior 6, there's something that happened to me.
Okay.
I realized for the first time, and I came into synchronicity with myself, that I really have difficulty with grasping things in class. So I decided to start reading random things. I had
our dear viewers, I hope you're following. I hope you're following the story of Raymonf. Raymonf atugambye yasoma n'amaliriza senior 4 n'agenda mu senior 5 na dropping out of school kuba ebintu yali tabitegeera. He had a condition called nze badde sijuulirangako dyslexia, the inability to grasp grammar and coin words together in order to be able to communicate. Kakati wuuna atugamba nti bwe yalemererwa emisomo egyo n'ayingira Bible school. Bwe yayingira Bible school n'afuna a kind of encounter.
I would not say so, but I developed an urge to want reading.
N'afuna okuyaayana okwagala okusoma. Jukira ebigambo bimutawaanya. A person like that ordinarily would not want to read, would not have an interest in reading. Go on.
So it began when I went for the second term in high school, which was senior 6 now. So I would spend a lot of time in the library, in the school library, reading stories, American stories, past and present, and all that.
Yes.
So from there, that urge started to come.
The urge to read. The urge to acquire knowledge.
So That was back in senior 6. So
Yes.
when I dropped out after 2 years, my pastor takes me in the Bible school.
Yes.
I start to interact with these professors in the Bible school and start to see a few things.
Yes.
So it was that time when I landed on a quote from, I think, Henry Ford.
Yes.
Who said that never allow your education to get into the way of your learning.
Say that again.
Never allow your education to get into the way of your learning.
Tokkirizanga kusomako
Okwomu class.
okw'omu class okulemesa okusoma okw'obulamu bw'ensi obw'obulamu bwa bulijjo. Okay.
So in that very time, it was 2013, I had the testimony of Dr. Miles Monroe, to his blessed memory. It was a very great blessing to our generation. When he said that one of the teachers from British, a Brittany guy, who used to teach him at the Bahamas where I used to be, he called them that this guy is like a monkey and is incapable of reading, and what he made himself. It was a testimony of something like 58 minutes.
Yes.
He said it in the sermon.
Yes.
I heard that sermon more than the times I cannot remember.
Over and over again. Okay.
Again. So I started doing reading, consecutive reading, and for the past 7 to 8 years, I've been reading 2 books every week.
Wow.
2 books.
Akomukawulidde. A man that dropped out of school because he had an inability to coin words together. He was grammarly incapacitated. He met Jesus, went to the Bible school, something happened to him, a desire for reading took over his life, and as we speak now, he reads 2 books.
Every week.
Every week.
Make sure I finish 2 books. Each book
every week.
must be 200 pages.
That is quite a level. Yes, sir.
So from there, in 2016, I came to Kampala. That's a very big story how I came to Kampala.
Yes, yes.
Probably it will appear in my biography someday.
Yes.
So I come to Kampala. I struggled for several years, to 16, 17, 18. Now it is 2017 that I have this idea that I need to start an organization to help people to build skills. Because it was in 2018 that I began to listening closely to 2 people. One was Dr. Jim Rohn,
Okay.
the master of personal development.
Yes, yes.
And the other was Les Brown, the
Yes.
master of motivation.
Yes, yes.
The motivational preacher.
Yes.
I had his name by Dr. Miles Monroe,
Yes.
mentioning him in a sermon.
Who of the 2, Les Brown or
No,
Jim Rohn?
I had Dr. Miles Monroe mentioning about Les Brown. So I go to YouTube, I find him. So I start to listen to him. And many of his clips, and then later I discovered Jim Rohn. And I fell in love with a number of his teachings on personal development,
Yes.
skill set development,
Yes.
personal philosophy,
Yes.
dealing with the seasons,
Yes.
dealing with incapabilities,
Yes.
and every other topic you can talk of in personal development.
Yes.
So later on, I add on another person, is a leadership guru. All of us, we know him, and he's a Christian, Dr. Maxwell.
Yes, yes.
So I read I've read more, something like 30 books of his. And then I listen to all his teachings there is on YouTube.
So this is what I'm picking out of Raymon's story. Of course, tutandise Raymond atugamba, he is now the team leader. In other words, he's the CEO, or in other words, he's the managing director of a big name company. Called May Global Incorporation. Nayiga mu story atugambye nti emisomo gino egyaffe egy'omu classroom yagikoma mu senior ffe emituufu. Kati n'ayingira okusoma kwe okwaddala ye kwayise actual education of life, which has taught him and pushed him to the level he is at now. He started learning from people. He started learning from masters in several fields. He started getting inspiration from different kinds of people. Okumanya, yensibuko, if you can help me here. Okumanya, like knowledge, I think is the source or the spring well of every kind of achievement in this life, ever.
Absolutely.
And enlightenment, even in the spiritual space, comes as a result of knowledge.
Yeah, it's Dr. Wendell Holmes, the father of Supreme Court Justice, who said that when a mind learns a new knowledge,
Yes.
it expands and it cannot go back to the size it was before it learned this new knowledge.
Yes, that man expands.
Yes, the mind expands.
Yes.
Because it has assimilated this.
Or the
new knowledge.
mind expands, yes.
Exactly. Jim Rohn said that when a man says that I'm a leader, don't argue with him or with him in his house. Look at the books you read. Because what a man reads powers massive ingredients in his mind. And the result of his actions are as a result of what powers in his mind.
Ulira ebigambo bino. Dear viewers, weeyawule n'okumanya, weeyawule n'okukula. It is as simple as that. Separate yourself from acquisition of knowledge, and you will be telling us and telling everybody, including yourself, that this is where I stop in terms of growth. Because we all have the dreams. We all have the dreams. Everybody has the aspirations. Somebody wakes up and tells you, ntinzo ndaba waneno njagala obulambo ensano ebugwelako nga ndi ku level yemu nyumya n'abasajja nga ba Barack Obama. Mukwano, you're dreaming very well. That's a very good dream. That's a very good aspiration. But do you know what can take you to that space of those people? If you do not have the knowledge, if your mind is empty, you can dream all you want. You can dream all you want, because with knowledge is action, and action propels you. Action pushes you forward to achieve just about everything you know about.
When that house of knowledge is built within you, your dreams start to form. There is a scripture in the Bible, I think it's Isaiah 33 verse 6. The Bible says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation.
Yes, sir.
If a man has no knowledge, has no stability. If a man has no knowledge, the dreams cannot be realized.
So koddemu ekyawandikibwa ekyo ogambye Isaiah.
Isaiah 33 verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation. In Hosea he says that because you've forsaken knowledge, I've forsaken thee.
Yes, sir.
A man who has no knowledge is not established. In Proverbs he says that wisdom builds a house. By knowledge you establish it. By wisdom you build.
Yes.
By knowledge, by your understanding you establish it. But by knowledge
you fill it with every good thing.
So the reason why the church is weak and are incompetent, and members of the church are incompetent,
yes,
is they have run away. They have put themselves away from knowledge. They have left some things to the world.
Yes.
There is a way the church is relaxed,
yes,
from the place of knowledge.
Yes.
And in the Gospels, Jesus says that the sons of this generation are more strong and wiser in their genes than the sons of light.
Yes.
Simply because we have forsaken the place of knowledge.
Yes.
Competence, as we talked about even last time,
yes,
comes after man realizing what is the ingredients that is building the faculties of his mind.
Yes.
So if you do not realize the ingredients that are building the faculties of your mind,
yes,
you cannot build towards that goal. You cannot build towards that vision. You cannot build towards that dream. You cannot build towards the navigation of your life that you're dreaming about.
Yes, sir. Genda maaso. Noyingira Kampala?
You cannot be competent.
Jagala tuddeyo ku story yo. Today I want inspiration to come from your story. Yes, we have seen a very strong point about what stands out most in Raymonf's story is the fact that he became an ardent seeker of knowledge. He became. So I want you to take us back to your story, even as we near the break. So I want you to nicely bring us up to speed of where you're at now. You've now established this company because you have been reading so much about these various subjects of knowledge and stuff. Kati otuse, sebo gwe CEO.
So I really don't like to call it like that. I rather use the term team leader.
Well.
So in 2018, I established May Global Incorporation to major in leadership development, because I realized that one of the church's problems,
yes,
is leadership, including many of the pastors. The problem is leadership.
Yes.
As John Maxwell said, the problem has always been of leadership. Nothing much, nothing less.
Yes.
And then personal development, because many of the youths in our churches, the problem they have is that they have very many dreams, but building the skill set towards those dreams, they have none.
Towards achieving their
Towards
dreams.
achieving what they want,
Yes.
they have none. And then management, because in this life, as the Bible says in Genesis, one of the roles that was given to a human being while he was coming here, established by the Lord, was to manage.
Yes.
So the concepts of management are important, whether you're personal managing, family managing, or your project, or your job, or your work, you're employing two people.
Yes, yes.
You will have to be a leader and you
And
have
a
to be a
manager.
manager.
Yes,
and
yes.
the only way you can inspire them, if you can inspire yourself first.
So, according to you, according to Raymond, when he started acquiring this knowledge, he realized the gap, not only in church but in the world, a gap where people lack skills to be able to help them achieve or to be able to make an impact or to be able to be relevant. So that propelled you, pushed you to start a company where you equip people with knowledge in order to cover that gap.
Yes.
And this company does not focus on only Christians.
No, not only
It
Christians.
focuses on everybody, because that is where the need is.
Absolutely.
Because that is where whoever desires to be relevant, you need to acquire this knowledge. It does not stop with somebody out there. It does not stop with the people sitting in corporate bodies. No. Even somebody running as simple as a home. Because a home is not simple anyway. But even a house manager, we call them maids, without the requisite knowledge to manage children, to manage the bosses, to manage house chores, to know what to do, when to do it, and even how to do it, you find yourself kicked out. We all know you would rather hire a maid who knows what to do, okay? You'd rather hire a maid who knows what to do, even though you know nothing about them. Because many of us, when we are starting out in life, we want to hire people that we probably are related to. Naye ogenda okwesanga ng'omuntu ono gw'oyagala okuwa omulimu, omuntu gw'oyinako oluganda, talina bisaanyizo in terms of knowledge. Ogenda kumulekera abaana, tamanyi naye babawa buugi. Ogenda kumulekera engoye, tamanyi ne bwe bazisookinga. So ng'ekkanisa ya Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo, in order for us to position, because the Bible has said it, that the church of the latter days, it is we that he has given. The prophecy is already out there. We have been given, Katonda agyeko lead, agambye nti ene kanisa ey'oluvannyuma egenda kusukkuluma. Tugenda genda mu nsi ku busozi omusanvu obufuga ensi, ffe tusukkuluma abaana ba Mukama waffe. Naye tugenda kusukkuluma tutya ng'okumanya tukusudde ttayo. Tugenda kusukkuluma tutya nga tetwagala kunoonya kumanya, be it knowledge in terms of apprenticeship. Nti olina omulimu gw'oyiga oguyigira ku muntu mulala. You may probably not be learning this from a theory point of view, but as long as you are acquiring knowledge, you're positioning yourself not only for competence, not only for excellence, but for leadership and rulership on the 7 mountains of the world. Let us take a short break and we'll be back.
Stay tuned for more when we come back.
Okay, a warm welcome back to our show. You are watching Destiny Matters, streaming live from Kampala, Uganda. Tumaliriza the first part of the show nga twogera ku lugero lw'omusajja Raymonf Mayega. Raymond is a leader in this country in the spaces of leadership, management, personal development, personal branding, and how to make the most out of your life. And Raymond has been telling us his story. And we want to get inspiration out of this story. Because in the church, but I'm not only addressing the church, in this country, we have young people who have huge dreams. The dreams are so big, sometimes you wonder, will there be enough space in this country if everybody ever achieved their dreams? But you realize on the journey of achievement of dreams, on the journey of being of impact, on the journey of being competent and being able to deliver results wherever you're placed, you find people are not moving forward. You find people are stuck. So Raymond here is giving us his story, a very successful story, showing us how he personally has maneuvered through the gutters of his own life, the gutters of uneducation, the gutters of growing up in a seemingly dysfunctional home, the gutters of not having probably a strong mentor or something like that, and getting to the place he's at. I pray and I believe that all of us will glean inspiration from what he shares with us. So Raymond,
Yes.
tukomye onnyinyonnyola ebintu by'okola kati. And those are all very big things. They are big name things. You are busy competing with the elite of the world. Because the highest level of illumination or understanding is the ability to lead, is the ability to acquire and impart knowledge. And that is the field you're competing at.
Yep.
But please, watugambye nti gwe okusomako ffe kwe twakomye okutegeera okuli fomo weekomera mu senior 6 first term n'obivaako. Kati tubuulire omusajja owa senior 6 term emwe yabivaako weesanga otya mu ddaala lino ery'abayivu ng'ocompetinga for the same workspace and even winning in there?
There are 3 characters that every person, of 3 or 4, I've drafted a teaching that I entitled the 7 foundational characters every person should have.
The 7 foundational
Characters.
characters
You can
every
call
person
them
should
characters, you can call them core values, you can call them qualities
Yes.
that everyone should have. But I'm going to speak 4. Number 1, there is something called choices.
Okay, so what you're telling us is they are a set of characters that have helped you.
Yes.
But that everybody, they are 7.
They are 7,
You're
but
going
I'm
to
going to
tell
mention
us
4.
4.
Yeah.
Everybody, banange, bw'oba badde towuliriza, ng'obadde ogenze kunywa kacaayi, oba ng'owuliriza bw'okola ebirala, wano nno wandisimbyewo essira otuwayo eddakiika nga 2 n'owuliriza ebintu bino. So according to you, bino bye bintu ebikwawudde,
Yes.
ebikujje wansi eri mu bulamu, ne bikuteeka wano w'oli.
And they are not exceptional to me alone, but to everybody that desires to live a good life.
Please take us on, yes.
Number 1 is choices. Well, if it was a theological class, we would go and debate such things as predestination, we would go and debate such things as free will, we would go and debate such things, but we will not debate that here. But I want to believe that God gave us choices.
Yes.
Every man has the ability within the faculties of his mind to choose what they want to be.
To choose to be or not to be.
The only problem is that many people want that the moment they choose to be something, or they want to choose to be something, they want the process to take 6 months.
Nah.
They want the process to take 1 year. They want to take the process to take 2 years or 3.
Yes.
If it clocks 6 years, they're like, I think it will never be.
Yes.
They give up. Number 1, choices. If you are not going to one direction, it's automatically that you're going to another. 5 years, if you're not going to one direction,
bw'oba togenda eno.
it's automatic that you're going to another direction.
Yes, sir.
And the 5 years after today, you'll find yourself to the destination of that direction you took. Whether it was a conscious decision or unconscious one,
Yes, sir.
you will find yourself there. The only difference is that some that made conscious choices, they will find themselves to a better planned, desired destiny.
Yes.
Than those who did make choices.
Yes, yes.
We are a result of our choices. Like it
Or
deny
not.
it. You can say demons are involved. Yes, there's a speech aspect. But this is not a spiritual meeting. We will not go into that.
Yes.
You may claim other forces involved. It is true. But all it begins here. It has always been the battle of the mind.
Yes, sir.
A man wrote a book called The Miseducation of the Negroid. In that book, he said that the education that is given to us is not given to us in the way that we better ourselves. It is given to us in the way that we become better slaves.
I have been thinking about that. There are quite a number of people coming out and talking about that thing. That the kind of education that we were handed down to. Because see, the education system we have, especially in our country, I don't want to go on record and say in Africa, but I'll go on record for Uganda. The education system that we have has a lot of irrelevancies.
You ask a man, why are you doing a master's? And the first answer they will give you is that I want to get a better job. He's thinking like a slave.
Yes.
In his mind, he's still a slave.
Yes, sir.
A few days ago, months ago, I think, one of the great American rappers came here. And is worth millions of dollars. And the only thing he could bring to us in Africa was a pair of shoes, which cost something like $1,000.
He came with his wife.
I don't remember, but I remember he met the president,
Yes,
and he
he
gave
was-
him a sneakers, which
He
cost
had
something
his
like
wife along, yes.
$1,000. He knows that in Africa, what we need most is institutions. In Africa, what we need most is health, institutions, number one, and then probably our health.
Yes.
He can just get $5 million on a lot of $1 million he has and build hospitals here. He brought a couple of shoes costing $1,000. In his mind, he's a slave. Even after 1,000 years of 100 years, 200 years of emancipation,
Yes.
the man is still thinking like a slave.
Yes.
Many of us, the problem is here. You are doing a master's because you want a better job. You're doing a PhD because you want a better job. You are not thinking like a dominating factor.
Yes.
You're thinking like a slave.
Yes.
So the moment your choices are concocted in that matter, that's what you're going to be. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his mind,
So is he. So is he. Number two.
Number one, choices. Number two, excellence. Excellence is a spirit that can rest on any man.
Yes.
Now, in this nation, one can say if your nose is shaped a certain way and your name has a certain sound and probably you have a certain ethnicity extraction, you are privileged. I can tell you, excellence is a spirit that can settle on any man. If the spirit of excellence settles on you, if you are frustrated in Uganda because your nose is not shaped a certain way and your name does not have a certain sound and you do not have a certain ethnicity extraction, you will find yourself in another nation
Yes.
where your spirit of excellence will give you a footing and a standing.
Yes, sir.
If they frustrate you in Uganda, you will go in Zimbabwe and you will make it.
Yes.
You will go in Europe and you will make it. You
Yes.
will go in China, a communistic society where no one makes it and you will make it.
Yes.
Because excellence is the spirit. You decide to be excellent.
But now imagine something. We, the Christians, the God that we know, the God of the universe, our Heavenly Father, the spirit He has given us is a spirit of excellence. He is ours. Batuwawabuwa buwalokoka bavu n'ofuna omwoyo wa Mukama. Omwoyo oyo, one of His attributes is excellence.
Absolutely.
Now tell me as a Christian, why aren't you living a life of excellence? And okay, you're not living a life of excellence. Let this be your takeaway from today's show. Determine from today onward that in everything I involve myself in, I'm going to do it on the level of excellence. That will set you apart and that will give you a place in the leadership that our God has promised us with the End Times Church.
You
Okay?
determine to be tokola bintu gadibengalye. Some of us okola bintu bigana. My mother used to do evening restaurants but because we were young yali afumba nnyo byenyanja na kawunga na matoke nga twagala bidibe tubirye. Because that's what we used to think.
Nga temwagala abitunde, bidibe mmwe
We
mubirye.
could not even think to wamuno mwe muva sente zitulisa but because yali mmere nga twagala, many of us we have that mindset gadibengalye.
Oli nakwata obulamu bwe, they are productive years bannange, 18 years, oyina amaanyi, amagezi gasaza, but everything you're doing obikola mu mwoyo gwa gadibengalye.
I have decided in my life whether I'm teaching one person one-on-one,
Yes.
I teach the way I would sound when I'm teaching 20,000 people seated in an auditorium.
Yes, sir.
I have decided to treat every person with dignity so long as they come to me for training, whether they are paying 100,000 or they are paying $1 million shillings,
Yes, sir.
or they are not paying.
Yes.
Because I've realized that what is given to me, it is given to me for a reason.
Yes, yes,
And
of
it's
course.
given to me for such a season
As
as
this. Yes, sir.
So I want to be excellent in whatever I'm doing because I know that it is a spirit that can sit on me and gives me advantage both in time and in
Yes.
eternity.
Yes, yes.
However, it is important for you to know that it's not only for your own good.
Yes,
it was
yes.
Zig Ziglar who said that if you want to get things in life, make sure you help enough people to get what they want
Yes,
in life.
yes.
That's called service. So you serve other people with excellence.
So what you're saying is, bino ebirabo bye tulina, ebintu Katonda byatuteresezza, unfortunately for us, or fortunately, si byaffe ffekka.
Nope.
So ekyo ekirabo ky'okola gadibengalye, unfortunately for you, it is meant to impact so many other people, and that will be accounted for.
Absolutely. And then number 3 is resilience coupled with patience.
Resilience coupled with patience.
That's number 3.
Yes, sir.
There is nothing you're going to do of meaningful stature that will only be, or that will come out for a few months, or after a few weeks,
Yes.
or after a few years.
Yes.
Some projects will take 10 years.
Yes.
Some projects will take 15 years.
Yes.
And some projects will take 5 years, depending on the magnitude and the impact it's going to make.
Yes.
So, if you're not resilient, if you're not patient,
But
you're
then
going
Saba
to lose it
Raymond,
out.
onyonyole ekigambo resilience ekyo kigambo kikalubamuko kitunyonyole.
Let me tell you a story. I began to do business very early, I think as early as senior 2.
Yes.
Nali ku Masaka Spita and college nga ntambuza nkoko ku bus ezigenda. That was my first business.
Yes.
And from that time on, I've done I think 17 businesses,
Yes.
and most of them have failed. But I still do business.
Yes.
I have an events company. I lead Mayega Global, and I
Yes.
also do psychotherapeutic counseling.
Yes. Yes.
And all those things, you shouldn't be deceived that, especially in business, for
Yes.
example, when I'm doing counseling, it's for free. I just tell people that have psychotic problems.
Yes.
But in business and Make Global, in TRM Enterprises, my business, events business company,
business,
and
yes.
TRM and Make Global Incorporation is
Yes.
a business. So it is not that every month you're going to get a client that will take, come and speak to my school, they're
Yes.
going to give you 300 in 1 hour.
Yes.
It's not like that. There is no one that comes for personal training and is going to pay million shillings. But I know for a surety, I dream it when I'm sleeping, I dream it when I'm awake.
Yes.
That one day I will speak to 1 million people and I will reach a time and I'm given $1 million a week or $10,000 an hour.
Yes, sir.
But that kind of dream is not built within 1 year or 2 years. There is nothing called overnight success. They didn't tell you behind the curtains.
Yes.
But there was a lot of work,
Yes.
sleepless nights,
Yes.
reading books,
Yes.
and all that. And they will never tell you.
So resilience is the ability to persist
On
okulemerako.
what you do.
Okulemera ku kyokola ye resilience.
Whether it's showing progress or not,
Oba kigenda mu maaso oba tekigenda mu maaso.
you must persist.
Yes.
Resilience coupled with patience.
Patience, yes.
And then number 4 is skill set.
Skill set.
I have realized in this life that everything is learnable.
Yes.
I
Ako kaddemu.
have realized in this life that every skill is learnable. Oh, let me rephrase. Every time you hear the word skill, just know that it is learnable and it is improvable.
Yes, sir.
If you are poor at communication right now, you can take on communication classes and you become a better communicator. If you are poor in grammar right now, I went to poor schools where I used to study under the tree and teachers were teaching us in Lusoga.
Yes.
I took an initiative because one day I'm anticipating to stand on TED Talk. They
Yes.
don't expect you to speak Lusoga in English.
Yes.
So, because I want to stand on TED Talk or in Texas or in California or wherever it will be, or in Tanzania, this part of East Africa, you will have to communicate in the language they understand.
Yes, please.
So you have to take on classes that polishes your language. It's called skill set.
Yes.
If you're poor in accounting and yet you're running a business, you take on skills that teaches you how to be better in accounting.
Yes, sir.
If you are a human resource manager and probably when you're at the university you are in bars and these things. So in the final year you sobered up and you get a job as a human resource. You not really know what to do. Take on classes
Yes.
and learn, because every skill is learned and every skill is improvable.
Tuddeyo tusome.
Exactly.
Let us go back and learn and polish skills.
Right now on YouTube, there is almost every video you can talk of. Even if you go on YouTube right now and you insert in how to shave my armpits, I swear to God, I have not searched it, but I'm sure there is a video that speaks about that.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, this is the era of knowledge. The competence, the competition that we are having now is about knowledge. One great man said that every after 2 years, 50% of what you know becomes obsolete.
Say that again.
One great man said that every 2 years, 50% of what you know
becomes obsolete.
You
Expired knowledge.
You will no longer require it in the next 2 years.
Wow.
So if you do not keep learning, you will lag behind.
Yes, of course.
And you will be in a place where you are required to present a new knowledge. The Bible says in 2 Peter that I will not get tired of telling you this, but I want to remind you so that you stand established in this present truth. There is such a thing as present truth. Every truth is truth.
And if there is present truth, that means there is past truth.
Absolutely.
And there is future truth.
Absolutely.
So we need to live a life of aspiration. You aspire to acquire knowledge or truth or facts for the future.
Prior to 1994, companies never had IT departments.
Yes.
Prior to 2005, companies never had social media handles.
Of course.
Now, as we go, people who used cassettes with tapes, then we graduated to floppy disks, then we graduated to CDs, we graduated to flash. Now, every person you talk to, you can hardly hear CD in their language or DVD.
Of course, yes.
And I can bet you, you can go visit 10 of your friends, and you will hardly find that 9 of them do not have a DVD in their house.
Yeah, true.
Because that knowledge has now expired.
Yes, it has.
People used to study to be elevator operators. That expired. Now people are applying as pump attendants at fuel stations. That is soon expiring.
It is.
Now, people used to work in the bank as accountants, a number of them. A few years from now, banks will use 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Yes.
A full branch where there used to be 50 people. Because knowledge is becoming absolute per minute at the increase of technology.
Yes.
So, if you don't increase your skills,
ogenda kulekebwa emabega.
And then you blame God that the blessing didn't come to you, but the church has to be taught the things.
Wow. Raymonf, you're speaking a lot of truth. You're speaking a lot of power. You're speaking a lot of inspiration. I want you to speak to somebody that, no, but before you go to inspire a young man and a young woman, I want you to tell us from your own vision where you see yourself from now. Because see, some people do not know how to dream. For some people, life has hit them so hard that even their dreams are buried. You know, people can no longer see themselves in better places. And probably that is why sometimes we hide in prayer, because our minds have been so beaten that we can no longer dream. So I want you to cast your vision for us. Where do you see yourself in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now?
I think it was Frederick Douglass who said that, that great American freedom activist who said that the ability to dream has been beaten out of me from the very things I've suffered. So most people suffer so much and for so long that the ability to dream is beaten out of them.
And killed, yes.
That's not true. One must take a stand.
Yes.
And make a deliberate choice.
Yes.
Either to be average or to be
excellent
somebody in life.
Yes.
It may not take a week. It may not even take 5 years. It may take even 10 years. However, you must decide. It was Howard Thurman, that great American philosopher, theologian, and a mystic, who said that as you die on your deathbed, you realize that, he said that you realize you're on your deathbed, your family members are surrounding you, they're helping you to cross over, you have started to see the other side, you are in and out of your death experiences, and then you see every cost of this thing we're supposed to do surrounding you with large angry eyes, telling you that we're supposed to come to life by you, but you didn't bring us to life. And then you have this regret on your deathbed. that I was supposed to build a company that was supposed to touch 1 million people.
Yes.
And never did that.
Yes, yes.
That you were supposed to build a school because God checked your character.
Yes.
The texture of your heart.
Yes.
And the character of the texture of your heart.
Yes.
It's good in this poet generation.
Yes.
So God wants you to build a school so that your character can be assimilated in teachers.
Yes, into
There
children.
at the end of the day, into children.
Yes.
So that the next generation is preserved.
Yes,
For
sir.
you went into business. And on your deathbed and the school comes, the ghost of the school
Yes.
you're supposed to build comes.
You were supposed to have built.
Comes. And you are dilapidated, delusioned, disoriented.
Yes.
Yet you're about to die.
Yes.
You didn't dream. You didn't aspire.
Yes.
You didn't. It was Whitney Younger who said that as you look at your life, look at your goals and dreams. It is better to be prepared and do not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity
And you're not
do
prepared.
not be prepared.
Ako nno wandikazeemuko.
It is better to be prepared and do not have an opportunity than an opportunity to come
And
you
find
find that you were never prepared for the
for it.
opportunity that has showed up.
Yes,
I used to tell friends of mine, I had a group of people that we were like 4 or 5. There were 2 lawyers and other people with other bachelor's degrees. And I was the leader of the team and the most unlearned. So I told them, you guys, we are not equal. You have a bachelor's in law from UCU, and you also have one from KIU. You have other bachelor's. Me, I'm a senior graduate.
Yes.
I can tell you, we were suffering. We were in too much suffering that I think I was one who would kuiliba the 2K would have commando 3K, the 4 of us to survive.
Yes.
And I told them, time will come and an opportunity will come because you have a bachelor's and you find yourself somewhere.
Yes.
And me, I will not.
Yes.
And guess what? After a few months, it happened. A few months, I think after a couple of years and 2 months, it happened. They got jobs and they went on. So they forgot all the 3, 4, 5 years we suffered because they were prepared when the opportunity came. What am I saying? You must prepare yourself for this generation and whatever is going to come. If an opportunity knocks on your door and you found that you're not prepared, you have no dream, you are not charted, you have no navigation, you have no knowledge, you have no skill set, you will find yourself in a very bad place in life. You see, in this generation, it's very bad to be stupid. It was accommodated 15 years
Yes.
ago.
Nobody cared really.
It is you cannot afford to be stupid
No,
unless
you
you're ugly.
can't.
Now that's a very bad life. You're stupid and ugly at the same time. When skills are everywhere, unless you are poor. Now that's a very bad life. You're
Raymonf.
stupid, you're ugly, and you're poor.
Raymonf,
I'm telling you the truth.
tokuba
It
nnyo
is-
totufiira
I'm-
kaati. Bannange.
But it's really bad.
Totufiirako. Naye nga what you're saying is very true anyway. It is. You're saying it in the most tosiizeeko wadde akazigo n'akamu naye nga ge mazima mbadde nkusabye ombuulire gy'onoobeera emyaka 10 okuva kati tombuulidde
Okay, let me tell you that.
obudde bwo ne buggwako.
We are 8 billion people right now on the planet.
Yes.
And my dream is to impact at least 4 billion. I want by the time I'm 65, when at least 4 billion people have heard my voice.
Yes, sir.
Once or twice. At least one person of every 4 billion people to have heard my voice once or twice.
But that is a very big dream, guys. It is worth uploading. I think we should clap for that dream. Kirooto ekyo kinene. Abasinga ebirooto byaffe biri as big as we all know our dreams. Anyway, Raymonf, you have done such a good job. It has been such an honor, such an eye-opening experience, especially for me to host you today. And I believe somebody out there, not 1 or 2 or 3 people, very many of you, very many young people. We didn't mention Raymonf's age, but I can assure you, he is not yet in his mid-30s. He's a very young man with very big dreams, and he is on his way to achieving all of them. Raymonf has been able to take himself back to school. He has been able to acquire as much knowledge as he can. So when he dreams and says he wants to impact half the population of the world by the time he's 65, trust me, he'll achieve it. Because everybody can achieve whatever they set their mind to do. That is the law of life. That is the law of life. And there's an event coming up that you wanted to tell us about. Tell us about it in the next 30 seconds, and we shall wrap the show up.
I'm also a biographer. If you want to write your story, you want to write your biography, you want to write the story of your family, I have a team that I lead. It's called The Faith of Our Fathers. We began by writing the biography of Reverend Dr. Kefa Sempanji, a name known to almost everybody in this nation. And now our second project on the way is the biography of Professor Simeon Kayua, the legend among us.
Yes.
We are launching his biography on the 16th of December, 2023. Everyone is invited. Professor Simeon, you all know him. You are welcome. We will be at Namirembe Kushani Fellowship, 2:30 p.m., launching his biography. You need to read his story. It's interesting. Very interesting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Raymonf. You were such a good guest. And thank you so much, our audience. Once again, this is Destiny Matters. Tune in and you will be inspired, and the matters of your destiny will be set right. Thank you for watching.